Very good. Fantastic. Welcome, everyone. My name is Kaleen O'Connor, and I am joining you from Florida, USA. It's nighttime for me, but I know we have people from all over the world. So if it's morning, really glad that you're joining us at the start of your day, and evening towards the end of your day. And we've got a very special team of speakers with us tonight. And our goal is to really add value to your life because we are about to share with you a massive health breakthrough that is literally 15 years ahead of its time. And it is a game changer in the conversation of aging and wellness and prevention and everything you can imagine under the sun. And so really there's multiple reasons why people are curious about this breakthrough. For example, you might actually have a health challenge yourself, or you might be caring for a loved one that does. Or if you are athletic, whether on a professional level, you like to go to the gym, or just your job, requires a lot of physical activity, this can give you a whole new leg up on endurance and recovery of the body after physical activity. And then as we're all aging, because we can't avoid it, whether you're in your 20s or you're in your 80s, it's time passes and the body ages. And so to be able to feel younger, look better, feel stronger, live longer, all those things are also phenomenal opportunities with this breakthrough. And in my case, particularly, I love prevention. I love to not ever need to know about those doctor's appointments that might have been, maybe there's a weakness that runs in my family biologically or genetic tendencies or whatever that is. Imagine if you could actually change that and just change the course of how your body is living and functioning and performing on a daily basis. And then also just from the viewpoint that because this is so unique, and if you can imagine, one of our field educators loves to talk about if we could go back in time and imagine when Thomas Edison first started to introduce the concept that you didn't have to just light candles to have light, that there was a way to actually have light by flipping a switch. And that moment the first light bulb was experienced, whether it was him or someone else. This is in that realm of category. So you may, if this is your first time joining us on this webinar, you may have never heard of this whole idea that we're about to share with you and how significant it is in really leveraging the innate ability that the body has to heal itself. So I want to invite you to not compare this to something that you think it might already be, but as I bring on our first presenter who does a phenomenal job of really explaining what this isn't and then what it is, allow yourself to just be fresh with the data as if you've never heard it before, and then imagine how you could use it in your life, because it will be life-changing information. So I am your host throughout the webinar. And our first speaker that I'm bringing in is Mr. Stevie Aquilina. He's joining us all the way from Australia. And we'll get a moment to hear a bit of his personal story and then go into a really informative seminar just on all of this. And then we'll bring in our next speaker, Dan Doyle, after that and get to hear his personal story. And then Stevie will join us again, and then I will wrap it up. So that's our flow for the night. So stick with us. If you have questions, please put them in the chat box. We like to be as interactive as we can as we weave through this. And Stevie, over to you.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Kaleen. Appreciate you. Always such a great lady and leader. And I just appreciate your intelligence and your heart and how sincere you are about this mission to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. So thanks for looking after me always. And everybody here, special welcome to you. I've got a lot of information to go through. I'm going to go through it quite quickly. I might talk a little fast. Plus, you're going to have to, for those that are on the other side of the pond to us, you're going to have to try and work out my Crocodile Dundee accent as well. So I wish you well, and I'm glad you're here. I really appreciate you. And let me jump into my presentation here. So as Kaleen so very kindly, probably too kindly said in my introduction, my name is Stevie Aquilina, and my family and I are from Australia, of course, originally from Sydney, but now we live on the Gold Coast of Australia. And that was honestly a dream come true when we were able to make that happen. I feel very grateful for my life and blessed for my family and the time and the income and the freedom that we now have that's allowed us to enjoy a really good lifestyle up here. That's also taken us to many parts of the world that once upon a time, way too far out of our reach, to be honest, before all of this stuff you're going to find out today. The good vibes and good times have not always been the case for me. I was a difficult child, probably to parent and school. A lot of things that kids are diagnosed with today that include certain abbreviations, letters of the alphabet, in regards to difficulties in concentrating and learning and socializing. We weren't diagnosed back then when I was a kid with those type of things. But if I was a kid today, I would have had quite a lot of letters of the alphabet in my diagnosis. I never made the grades. I was often told that I was stupid and useless on a daily basis and directly to my face. And, when you're told something often enough, especially while you're young and impressionable enough, you kind of start to believe it. And so with that, I later became a teenage runaway and a high school dropout. And with that kind of thinking, I walked myself way off track on life's journey right throughout my teens and 20s, hanging out in the wrong places, doing the wrong things, learning from the wrong people. I was just way off center. For over a decade, I became a very dumb, but very good looking bouncer in what used to be the most popular nightclubs in Sydney, notorious, but for all the wrong reasons, probably. Physically, I've always been athletic, mainly in martial arts, but back then I had health troubles. Wouldn't have known it looking at me, but I had an autoimmune disease. I had inflammatory diseases. I had severe skin, respiratory, and gut diseases most of my life, and lots of bad injuries from very, very hardcore martial arts, very old. Now, here was a big turning point in my life that really started to take me out of a lot of trouble. I met the girl of my dreams, and right then and there, I was motivated more than ever before to become more. And she saved my life because she believed in me long before I could do that myself, and always told me that I was more long before I could convincingly say that to myself. And I figured out once again, when you're told enough, something often enough, you kind of start to believe it, right? And so I met this lady and married her, and fast forward, had some kids, and really had to learn how to stand up and fly right. But I didn't give myself the best head start, so it wasn't easy. Financially, I got myself stuck in go nowhere jobs. I had more than 20 different jobs in far less that time. I had hopes going nowhere, no prospects, no financial security, no financial dignity. I mean, I found it really tough. I was treading water. Every single day, it felt like playing tug of wars, trying to make ends meet. And I wasn't doing very well in my money management. I had the phone, electricity, and gas cut off. I was not able to run my car on anything more than just the fumes of petrol. I've had us evicted, not paying the rent, and I mean, no financial dignity. I'm kind of embarrassed to talk about how broke I was and all the broken promises I was making to my family back then. Now, I had big dreams. I wanted to be, do, and have more. I really wanted to give more, actually. But I had little self-esteem. And so that really held me back. And so I'd done little with my life and had little to give. I believed in possibilities, but I doubted my potential. Now, a huge turning point for me was that I was introduced to this company that I'm going to introduce you to. It's life-changing breakthrough. Had turned all of my health conditions around, inside and out, in my body and in my mind. The life-changing training that I've received from the leaders who are extremely successful people, they believed in me too, but more importantly, they've taught me how to believe and become more. And now I have the honor of sharing this with others, to help others to believe, belong, and become more, to help them in their health, to help them in their wealth, and to help them in their well-being of life, inside and out, body and mind. So I want to spend the rest of my life doing nothing less than bettering people's lives in at least any one of these life-changing ways too now. So I'm glad you are here. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm going to share with you first the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime, which medical experts say is the greatest breakthrough possibly of all time. Greater than the discoveries of DNA or penicillin, they say, and they were huge breakthroughs. But for 2 decades, science had declared that this breakthrough was impossible. This is a breakthrough with enormous potential, now proven by renowned universities and world-leading laboratory medical studies, not made-up studies. It's a very advanced breakthrough too, considered to be 15 years ahead of its time. And any health goals, challenges, or problems you can think of, remarkable results we can show you. And by the way, drug companies wanted this all shut down, but I'll tell you more about that a little later. Before I tell you what this is, I want to be absolutely crystal clear about what this is not, because This is nothing like anything else you have ever seen before. What we'll be talking about goes well beyond drugs, nutrition, any type of ingredients or technology you already know about. What I'm about to show you is entirely new, an entirely new frontier in science. It's truly groundbreaking and category creating. There's nothing else like it. It is a real deal healthcare breakthrough, a true breakthrough. So here is what we're going to talk about first, the ASEA Redox cell signaling technology, which is a drink that contains active redox signaling molecules. Now, redox signaling molecules are made by you. They are made by your cells. They are in your body right now. They are native to your body, okay? And they are your cellular messengers. They're the signaling system of your body that affects your cell-to-cell communication and therefore your cell-to-cell function and operation. And I mean, everything all the way down to your genetic expressions, even in a very positive way. Redox signaling is a remarkable process because it is the actual process that empowers your body to do everything, including heal itself, by telling your cells how to protect healthy cells, how to repair unhealthy cells, and how to replace damaged cells. That is literally how your body generates its own tissue. That's done by these redox signaling molecules, which also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. Bottom line is redox signaling is what keeps cells functioning at optimal levels. And why is this also important? Because we are all made of cells. We live and die at the cellular level, right? So redox signaling molecules are actually the keys to life. They are essential for the activation and function of all of our normal physiology. All of our body's major systems, biochemical and physiological processes, all critically depend on redox signaling, because if your cells were suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, they wouldn't know what to do, and therefore they would break down and be destroyed and die. Without your redox signaling molecules, your life would end within mere seconds. So if our bodies already make redox signaling molecules, why do we need to put more in there? Well, when we're born, we make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That's generally why children have so much energy, how they can run around all day, not wake up sore the next day, and how they can bounce back so quickly from injury or illnesses. We all notice that in children, right? However, as we age, along with things like stress, poor diet, toxins, and all sorts of other environmental assaults on our body, our cells break down and our body's ability to make redox signaling molecules break down. And without as many redox signaling molecules giving clear cell signals, our whole cellular protection and healing process becomes confused and slow and breaks down more and more. And with it, so does our health, wellness, youth, and vitality. So ASEA takes science seriously, is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities, world-leading laboratories, and ASEA allows these very reputable and outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of the ASEA redox signaling supplements, to demonstrate the safety and efficacy of the ASEA redox products and certify them as safe and effective in everybody. ASEA takes science, ASEA is within a very real and significant space of science, because redox is based in Nobel Prize winning research. The first Nobel Prize, the first one, was awarded to these three professors back in 1998 for the first discovery of a signaling molecule. Since there have been multiple signaling molecules discovered with multiple functions and Nobel Prizes being awarded for research in this field. If you went along to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published in the National Library of Medicine, and if you typed in redox signaling there, you would see well over 33,000 results. You've got to understand, there was about 10,000 results when I started. This is very rapidly growing. There are more than 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling, and this slide will already be out of date. As I said, growing so fast, it's very difficult to keep up with. There's about 150 studies coming out almost every single month, if not more. According to medical researchers, as well as reported in mainstream media like the Huffington Post, who specifically wrote about ASEA in this article that I'm sharing here, redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. There are now multiple universities who receive tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. There are many global reputable scientific organizations who are changing their name to include Redox. There are now global medical conferences being held about Redox. Medical students to become doctors have to learn about Redox in the medical studies. Medical doctors are specializing in Redox. With one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD in title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. Now, ASEA, while everyone else is still trying to figure it out, we've already figured it out and are light years ahead and lapping everyone in this Redox field. Lapping. ASEA Redox users today get to enjoy Redox signaling benefits, which translates to health at its most foundational level. Here's just one example. ASEA Redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of your genetic pathways. In other words, affect in a very positive way your genes that improve immune system health. Switch on the genes that help maintain a healthy inflammatory response. Turn on the genes that help maintain cardiovascular health and support arterial elasticity. Empower the genes that improve gut health and digestive enzyme production, and signal to operate the genes that modulate hormone balance to support vitality and wellness. Now, all of these genes are key in the health of every individual and play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in dozens of additional genetic pathways. But let me carry on to save time. Moreover, ASEA Redox has also been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. And here's why that is important. Through further studies, ASEA has proven to lower oxidative stress, which is connected to antioxidants. But let me explain. The head professor of this university study has said that one of the most important effects of ASEA on disease risk factors is ASEA's ability to reduce oxidative stress, which, folks, is significant because all degenerating health concerns are caused by oxidative stress. And from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe, 0% toxicity. It's safer than the drinking water you're drinking right now. Why? Because redox signaling molecules are deeper than natural. They're native to your body. They're already in you. Your body already makes them. Your body runs off them. Body can't work without them. It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it used to be able to when it was younger and healthier. So as Kaleen said, if you have health challenges, if you have people that you care about who do, if you have a wish to look, live, and feel young again, if you have the very good sense for protecting your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, if you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, whether that be athletically or just every day. Any health goal you can think of, Redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. So the good news is, you don't need to take my word for it if you don't want to, because I'm going to share with you some of those medical doctors right now so you can hear what they're saying. Here they are.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. So what can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it. People need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants. And the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
So that's a little bit about cellular health from the inside out. Now let's show you a little bit of what it looks like from the outside in. And this is made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technology, which are Renew 28 Redox Gel and our Intensive Redox Serum. These Redox technologies are further supported and enhanced by their complementary, all natural ingredients products, the Gentle Refining Cleanser and Ultra Replenishing Moisturizer. But a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So let's just show you what these Redox technologies are worth with these pictures showing amazing health, anti-aging, and even age reversing actually results. Lines and wrinkles are smoothed out. Elasticity comes back to the skin. Skin blemishes, spots, dots, marks, and inflammations and irritations, aggravations, and other signs of poor health to the skin being renewed. For young people too, being rejuvenated, improving the quality of life, even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions, coming back to the proper surfaces of the skin. This is Rosie. The dramatic difference you're seeing in the first two pictures on the left could not be seen by Rosie because Rosie didn't take those pictures. She didn't take any pictures. Rosie actually believed that the products were not working. Now, Rosie went along to see her doctor because that's who told her about ASEA and who took these pictures, by the way. And when Rosie told that doctor, hey, the products don't work, the doctor showed these pictures to Rosie. Well, I guess the rest of the story can be seen here, right? Everyone says they want to see how ASEA goes. Fair enough. But look, Rosie missed the moment by moment changes by not taking pictures. And you may miss them too. So please take pictures because that's how you see how this goes. In fact, a lot of the pictures I've shown you already, those people said too that they didn't think the products were doing anything until they saw their pictures. Now, anything you can't take a picture of, keep a written record instead. People notice results sometimes within several weeks, sometimes only within several days, sometimes only within several minutes. People can have a physical experience, but sometimes it takes people several months. They need to apply more product, time, and patience, generally when there's more going on with their health. Now, we know scientifically that redox signaling molecules are all the same. They are precisely the same in you, in me, in animals and plants. Redox signaling molecules are redox signaling molecules. And that's all we have in our ASEA redox products. Now, studies prove that. Studies also showed that ASEA redox products have an immediate positive effect They work in every single person, every single time, that they would be scientifically impossible to not work in you or hurt you. But what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. Speaking of noticing the change, this doctor did a little experiment of his own on his very own face. Used Renew 28 on only half his face and not the other. Renew 28 is not just for the face. You can use it all over your body, whether it be your arms, hands, bellies, buttocks, thighs, all over. Now, these pictures are actually from a study by a world-leading laboratory, and the study was done because there were many reports coming in from around the world of people saying that their cellulite had disappeared while using Renew 28. So scientists set upon strict studies to see if there was any truth to these stories. Here's what they found. After just 12 weeks, a 16% reduction or more in the appearance of cellulite. The scientists did ultrasounds to try and discover how this was happening. They saw the subcutaneous fat, which was causing the cellulite, was actually being dissolved from the use of Renew 28. Renew 28 also helps soothe skin discomfort after things such as shaving or sun exposure and the like. Renew 28 is not just for the skin, it goes far deeper than that, and you can know about that potentially in about 10 minutes. If you have something around your body that is sore, that is hurting you, rate that discomfort on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most soreness you could feel. Apply Renew 28 on that sore spot 3 times inside of 5 minutes, and usually 9 to 10 out of every 10 people will notice a soothing or reduction of that discomfort within approximately just 10 minutes. Nothing I've said here has been intended to diagnose anything that you're going through, and ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. I'll hand it back to you, Kaleen, because it would be awesome to hear at this point of a tremendous redox experience from a tremendous bloke.
Exactly. So obviously it's not just about the theory and what all the fancy scientists say. It's really about how is it changing the lives of your loved ones and the people around us. And so we are very privileged to now have Dan Doyle share his real experience of how he used these products in his own life, and then how he's actually turned it into a whole business around the world, educating people on this. So Danny, thanks for joining us.
Kaleen, glad to be here, and thanks for being on the call, everybody. Yeah, wow, what a journey, what a ride. Suzanne and I are on holidays, on vacation here in Los Cabos in Mexico at the moment, and we spend most of the time based in Honolulu, Hawaii, but we are world travelers, so don't know, who knows where we're gonna be next week. So I'm going to go through my story, and before I do, just want to reiterate what Stevie said just in regards to the company disclaimer that these products are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. And for you guys who are new on the call, I believe that the person who introduced you has handed you an incredible gift, and as we say, whatever you want to do with that gift is totally up to you, and hopefully the information, the knowledge we're sharing with you can help you to make a decision whether you want to do something with it or not. So into my story, I was a guy who grew up in Sydney, Australia, and hated school, despised school, never did my homework, and distracted myself from playing many sports like rugby, judo, gymnastics, aerobics, and surfing. And this little sport called bodybuilding, where I intentionally, well, growing up as a kid, I was a skinny, scrawny little kid, so I started lifting weights at the age of 13, but something else that I got into in my later teens and early 20s, and this is a picture of me when I was 24 years old, and it was the beginning of me being a young entrepreneur in the health and fitness industry as well. And didn't know it at this time, but I ended up becoming very good at building and selling traditional businesses from inception. And over a 20-year period, I ended up building 20 traditional businesses, employing about 3,500 people. I was quite successful throughout that whole duration. My successes were my fault, and my failures were as well. And thank goodness there weren't too many failures. Everything went reasonably well for that period of time until 20 years later at the age 44. This is a photo of me still in the gym every morning doing more cardiovascular work, not weights. And this photo here, I thought I was fit and healthy, and not realizing there was something underlying. There was a pretty serious situation, and 6 months later the doctors gave me some really bad news. And this is a photo of me on the right hand side going through 2.5 years of what I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. You can see I've got no hair from the top of my head to my toes. Good friend of mine next to me, Johnny Manor, played the highest levels of rugby in Australia. He'd been through all the hospital visits that I'd started here. He went through losing a lot of weight and losing all his hair, been through all that. And by this stage at 21, he was in remission. He had what the doctors would consider to be the good one, whereas I had two of the bad ones. But unfortunately for Johnny, after this photo was taken, his problem came back. He went back to the hospital and lost all his hair, lost a lot of weight, never came out. We lost him at the age of 23. So pretty sad time. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, if he had the good one and I had two of the bad ones, he was less than half my age and twice as fit. What chance do I have? And the doctors pretty well answered that when I asked them what was going to happen from here after 2.5 years of what they put me through. And they literally told me to get my affairs in order. So at that point, I made the decision to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands. I did some research. My research led to an alkaline diet. And I was really doing the best I can, spending a lot of money on nutritional supplements, super juices, antioxidants, alkaline water. And you would think my body would have been heading in the right direction, but I can tell you that wasn't the case. This is a photo of me 2 years trying to look after myself after the doctors told me to get my affairs in order. And I can tell you that their position was still the same. And unfortunately, my health was still heading in the wrong direction. My blood works were still heading in the wrong direction. I was still in a lot of trouble with my health here. So this is now 2014. And this is where a friend of mine reached out and said, I think I found something that can help you. Long story short, I got on a plane in Sydney, Australia, flew to Salt Lake City, Utah, and started on these redox signaling molecules. Very short period of time, we're talking about 3 hours, my body was expelling things from it so fast, I had little red spots all over my upper torso. You know what was happening to me. In 12 hours, a 20-year stomach problem had gone away, a caffeine intolerance, and in 48 to 72 hours, because I had so much lung damage from what they put me through in that hospital where I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time, my lungs were functioning perfect in 2 to 3 days on the product. So I went back home to Australia. I kept drinking the product. And 12 months later, into 2015, my doctors gave me some very, very good news. And this is a photo of me. I said 12 months on the product. No sign of those two major challenges. Not only that, multiple injuries from playing sports had gone away, 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose. My whole body was rebuilt top to bottom using these products. And not only that, I mean, I had a whole list of things, but they were the major things that seemed to have disappeared by that stage. So as you can see, this is a little bit of my journey back to health and looking younger and feeling younger. Talking about looking younger, this is 2 years later, this is 3 years on the product. And I always like to go back to 2014 where I had zero health and doctors were giving me all the bad news and my blood works were doing extremely poor. And what you're seeing on the outside here is a reflection of what was going on the inside of me at that time. And a year on the product, looking a lot better, feeling a lot better. What you're seeing here, the same thing, a reflection of what was happening on the inside. 3 years on the product, my complexion, a reflection of what was happening on the inside at that time. So that was a little bit about my journey back to health and looking younger and feeling younger, guys. Things evolved for me along the way. I started sharing this with people and helping others, and basically as a byproduct of losing my health, fell into actually helping people and indirectly falling into the business. But it was the business opportunity and the thank you checks behind the breakthrough that actually saved my life, because if it wasn't for that, I couldn't invest in more product for my health, because 7 years ago, we were living in a van and almost going to the Salvation Army for food stamps. So it became a responsibility as time went on to help people. And then we joined the purpose-filled mission that we're all on now, in trying to help so many people around the world. So enormous business opportunity behind this. I don't think there's another. Well, I believe this is the most compelling opportunity we'll ever come across in our lifetime, because we'll never come across a bigger breakthrough in health. So we've got the big one. So I'm going to pass back to Kaleen. You're going to hear a little bit more about that.
Danny, thank you. And thank you for caring enough to come to the US a few years ago and talk to me, a total stranger at the time, and share your story. It's forever changed our life, and we're forever grateful for that. And I just want to, take a moment for those of you that are guests here on this webinar. If you've come to really just learn about the product and how it can benefit you or your family directly, we're really glad that you joined us. And you should get back to the person that invited you and learn that there's phenomenal customer accounts that you can choose from to get started on your product. We do invite and encourage you to continue on the rest of the webinar, and just want to let you know that at this point we are going to go into a bit of how ASEA as a company was created, why we exist the way we do, and why it has created an incredible income producing opportunity. And then at the very end, I'm going to bring Stevie back on now. I will have some visual slides just to show you guys how, refresh you on the product and how you could get started on ordering it. So again, you're welcome to stay. We just wanted to let you know we're pivoting into a new part of the conversation. And with that, we're Stevie, glad to have you back.
Thank you. Glad to be back. And thank you. And look, I say this every time, and I will say it every time, because I want everyone to know, the gentleman that you just heard from is, an exceptionally excellent gentleman. Dan is my best mate, Aussie, living in Hawaii, but he's Aussie, and known Dan for a lot of years. But he's been a significant inflection point in the upward curve of my life. He was the first leader who's not only exceptionally experienced in this company, but he was the first to take me under his wing and believe in me long before I could believe in myself, and sort of guide me and inspire me and teach me how I could believe and become more myself. So forever grateful to you, Dan. Thank you very much. And everyone here, get to know Dan. If you don't know him already, you're very fortunate to have him in your life too, I'm telling you. All right, folks. So with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. And the greater the breakthrough, the greater the opportunity. And ASEA is a life-changing breakthrough. Now that has created a life-changing financial opportunity behind all of this, to make a living while bettering people's lives. Now, the ASEA Redox signaling technologies are the first and only redox signaling technologies in the world for two very simple reasons. One, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than the medical scientists who've worked with ASEA on this have been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. In fact, for the 2 decades before ASEA's breakthrough work, science had declared that this was all impossible. And 2, ASEA is heavily patented. But look, not only is ASEA not allowed to be copied, ASEA can't be copied anyway, because there are trade secrets in the making of ASEA. And so you can't look into a bottle and figure out how to reverse engineer it. And so that means we don't have any copycats. That means we don't have any competition. That means that no one in the world has what ASEA has, no one. And look, no other products in the world can do what ASEA does. None of them, because none of them are redox signaling molecules. And nothing else in the world can get to the depth and level of achievement in the human body as what redox signaling molecules can. Because ASEA is redox signaling molecules, because redox works in every body, because everybody needs redox, because nothing in the body works as well or at all, in fact, without redox. And because redox can't hurt anybody, and because no other products can make that claim, no juice, pill, super shake, fancy water, CBD oil, whatever it might be, however good it might be, it's not redox signaling molecules, and ASEA is. And so we hold massive opportunities over and above all else and across all health science sectors: healthcare, wellness, sports science, athletic performance, beauty, skincare, aging, longevity. You have learned today about one breakthrough that is completely a game changer for a $3 trillion industry. Now, for this reason and many more I'm about to share with you, this is an entrepreneur's dream. The ASEA mission is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. They walk it more than they talk it. We can't do this on our own. And so we look for good people to help us spread the good word. Here's what we do. We personally share ASEA Redox with others. Along the way, we find and even attract to us people who want to do the same and share Redox with others. And this puts you in business for yourself. You can be your own boss. You get paid for all of this, but you'll never be in business by yourself, because together we work to improve the productivities of the networks that we've built, and you can build too, locally, regionally, nationally, and even internationally. ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn money just by sharing Redox with others. I'll tell you how that works in a moment. But let me say this, for people looking for either an extra, part-time, full-time, big time, or even a legacy leaving income, there are levels of commissions here to meet whatever levels of ambitions you have. To be able to afford making your goals, dreams, and desires a reality, ASEA allows you to create income that is both residual and leveraged. So you receive a residual income from the first and all of the repeated purchases made by everyone you refer to ASEA. Now, on top, you received leveraged income from all of the repeated purchases made by every single person your contacts and others refer to no end. There's no limit to how far and wide and deep these referrals can go around the world, because you can refer as many people as you like, and they can refer as many people as they like. And because you're paid and attached to those that referral system globally, doesn't matter how many people, that makes your leveraged residual income potential unlimited. Now, we do this type of marketing all the time. It is all too natural. We recommend good movies, TV series, restaurants, cafes, books, food products, health products, whatever, right? People tell people who then tell even more people, and it goes on and on. Word of mouth marketing is the oldest and most natural, and still today, #1 most powerful, effective, trusted, and listened to forms of marketing in the world. Nothing's ever beat it. Nothing ever will. There's no limits, especially with how connected the world is today. Word spreads worldwide. ASEA is currently in 35 countries. Based on existing trends, we are going to become a $500 million at the minimum company by the year 2025, and we may even exceed that. Residual income is impressive. Being able to work being able to be paid again and again and again and again from the work that you maybe just do once. Being able to get paid on your days off, on your holidays, being paid while you sleep. It's very impressive, but more so, residual income is very important. Think about it like this. You have residual bills. That's why residual income is important. Do you know what happens to most people by the time they're 65? Well, out of every 100 people, only 1 is wealthy. Only 3 are financially secure. 7 must still work to survive at 65, not working because they want to, but because they have to. They're a slave to the dollar. But 74 out of every 100 people are dependent on welfare by 65. So something going wrong with health out there, that's for sure. But there's also something going wrong with people's money out there, that's for sure. So what's one of the main financial principles that the top 4% seem to get right that the other 81% don't? Well, one of those main principles, and there's a few of them, but one of the main ones is how to make money that is no longer dependent on a paid by the hour, selling, sacrificing your precious time for money, labor intensive or own activity job, otherwise known as active income. Look, here's the hard truth. Sooner or later, you're not going to be able to be as active as you are right now. And therefore, you won't be able to have as much active income as you have right now. And this was very concerning for me when I learned it at the time. My active income already wasn't enough as it was. Now, this is one of the biggest problems that 81% of people get trapped in. And the sad truth is that this is one of the biggest problems that leads to causing other big problems in people's lives. Look, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will be a slave for money until you die. Now, we don't want that for you. So I'm not saying jobs are bad, by the way. They're a good place to start for most of us. But if you truly do love your job, keep it. But still, we'd love to help you find a way to make money outside of your job that won't interfere with what you're currently doing. Because if you're only relying on a single source of active income, residual income, trying to keep up with the residual bills, if you're just treading water in that way, it's not smart. It's actually a danger to your financial security. So if you want to be smart, if you've been wanting to be in the right place at the right time, if you're able to recognize a good thing as it's coming your way, if you decide, hey, I'm going to take control of my finances, my future, my freedom. If you aren't happy with the amount of money that you have right now, if you're not happy with how you have to make your money right now, if you have dreams and desires of a better life for yourself and for others, ASEA is a significant opportunity to be paid a significant residual income from the inevitable growth of its global expansion, and it can afford you those dreams, give you that real freedom. Now, there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives, and that, in truth, is really what you get to do with ASEA first and foremost, most importantly. You can get paid really well here, that's for sure. Don't get me wrong. You can even be rewarded on top with all expenses paid 5-star luxury locations all around the world. You have a really great time in a great lifestyle. But really, at the end of the day, it is the effect we have on others. That is one of the most valuable currencies there is, and proven time and time again by ASEA. Here's one of the first demonstrations they made of this principle. The truth is, after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research and clinical studies proving ASEA, those big drug companies offered to pay ASEA huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights to the ASEA Redox technology. However, those drug companies wanted ASEA to shut down Redox and take everyone off it. But thankfully, the founders of ASEA, Virtus and his son, Tyler Norton, had the great foresight to see grave concerns in such a deal, because Virtus and Tyler saw people who had very grave concerns with their health. They saw people who had these severe health challenges that once upon a time, not just left those people feeling hopeless, but even their doctors too, to then these people being able to access life-changing experiences with Redox. And when Virtus and Tyler saw this, they were filled with a great sense of purpose to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. And so they couldn't in good conscience sell out. And that's why they didn't. They said no to the payout and yes to the people. For Virtus and Tyler, it had once started out as just a very big business play, but had now become more. The ASEA founders turned down the huge sums of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement route rather than the drug route, in order to expedite the availability of this technology globally, making it available immediately to everyone without a prescription. Now, one of ASEA's biggest guiding principles was demonstrated here, as is always demonstrated in every decision they make, and that is that they always put people and principles over and above ego and economics. Now, the ASEA founders and their corporate team come from exceptionally experienced backgrounds, up to Fortune 50 backgrounds. They are very greatly experienced in running very big, profitable, global companies. But their corporate soul revolves around putting people first, having an impact, making a difference, bettering people's lives, helping more to believe, belong, become more. So thank you very much for spending this time with me. I hope you're happy. I hope you are well. And, if you want to live happier and healthier, if you want to live younger, stronger, longer, if you have dreams and desires, if you want to be, do, have, and able to give more, if you want to help people be happier and healthier, if you want a better life, income, lifestyle, if you want to increase the prosperity of the planet, if you want to make more of a difference in the world, you can become part of this Redox reality with us. You can become more. And if you'll pass this information on for many, many others, you can better the lives of many, many others, and your life will become better in many, many ways too. So again, thanks for spending this time with me, and I'll hand it back to you, Kaleen.
Fantastic. Thank you, Stevie. That was amazing. Folks, I'm just going to quickly share my screen and go rapid fire on some visuals so we can bring it all back home. So let me make this bigger. Bear with me. Sometimes my computer, yeah, there it goes. It likes to do the rainbow wheel. So for now, hopefully you can see it until I can make it a little bigger. I just like to bring it back home to the product because, it really starts with that. So this is just an incredible visual of our entire product line. I'm just putting this into slide mode here, so it's a little bigger. There we go. And you can see we have 9 products, and they're all focused on cellular health. And this just divides up, how we use these products to help you really optimize your body's own healing abilities. So you learned obviously about our Redox molecules, and you can see the drink lets you heal from the inside out. The topical gel and skincare from the outside in, with those amazing before and after pictures. And we also do have some nutrition, which you can learn more about from the person that invited you, or going to amazingmolecules.com and going towards the bottom left of that landing page. There's a phenomenal 12-minute video about these nutritionals. I'll touch on them again in a moment. I really want to share just an important perspective on the drink. So assuming you've decided, wow, this is for me, I'm ready to get started, whether it's tonight or tomorrow or whenever it is, this graph is really important, because this is not, as Stevie showed you at the beginning of the webinar, your typical nutritional supplement. The product itself, we don't sell it by the bottle. In terms of the drink, the gel we do, and it comes 4 bottles to a case, like this image that you see. And the reason for that, as you can see from this graph, based on over a decade of consumer knowledge, that only about 10% of the consumers that try the drink will perceive the changes happening in their body. Doesn't mean they're not happening, but imagine if For example, your pancreas is repairing itself. How do you feel that, right? You're not going to feel that in the first day or month. So you can see 10, 50%, you're just trying it for a month. You're not going to really give yourself the benefit to see how magnificent this is. But if you do it for at least 3 months, and I really say give it 6 months, but let's just say 3 months, bare minimum, you can see there's a 95% reality that you as the consumer can really track and see how it's changing in your body, because now you've had time to get those systems functioning at a higher level, right? This just reminds you of the topicals. We've gone over that a lot. Again, touching on phenomenal vitamins. We didn't reinvent the wheel on vitamins. There's amazing products on the market, but these really stand up to the top products that you'll find in terms of nutrition because they're sourced completely from food. So they're what we call whole food vitamins or whole food nutrition. And the company went even further and built in a patented absorption complex. So no matter what your digestion or gut health is, you are going to be able to fully absorb these formulas, and it's super important. Okay. This is just an orientation on how to order the product because it's so easy to do it. But you might make the mistake in the world of online shopping. Maybe you're super excited. You've got an Amazon account. You see this on eBay. You will sometimes find our products on these third-party websites. They are not approved purchasing lines. So the reason for that is that we really want to make sure that the education component is there. Otherwise Virtus and Tyler could have just set this up with straight internet sales, or let's put it on a shelf in a health food store. But there's quite a variety that can be done in terms of how you use the product, getting a correct product plan based on your goals. And you just can't get that when you just randomly buy it off the internet and don't have a real field educator to work with. So always get it from a distributor that's licensed and registered directly with ASEA, the company. You're getting pure product. It's not expired. These are all things that have happened when people have randomly bought it on the internet. And you're getting free product points, which you're going to learn a little bit more about next. I'm going to skip these awesome visuals. It's just reminding you what Stevie already beautifully said, that, wherever you are, whatever you're looking at, you might be, thinking you want to be a customer. Fantastic. We have customer accounts. Maybe you love helping other people. And, and then we can help you share it with others. And this gives you a little bit of information on the accounts. So we recommend, to help you save money, that you choose one of two of our wholesale accounts, which you see outlined in green here on the slide. So the preferred customer account gives you 25% off the full price of the product. It has no joining fee, and you do get to participate in the free product program, which we call loyalty rewards. Okay. Which helps you basically get free product. As you continue to order product, you get rewarded with product credit points, and you can redeem those and get further discounts. Or if you do love the idea of helping others, you can choose the associate account, which you can use purely as a distributor to yourself, or what it's really intended for. It allows you to have international distribution rights to all of our products in all of the countries around the world where we can offer it. And so to open up an associate account, it's very similar to preferred customer with a few more details you would include. And also you would pay a one-time fee of $40 US or the equivalent in your country's currency. And then once a year, to keep that account active and all the benefits of it, you would want to pay a $25 renewal fee, or again, the equivalent in your country's currency. Okay. I'm going to show one more slide on the associate account, because I want you to know that the first time you order, if you choose this account, you also have the benefit of buying more product than just what you might use in your first month, because the product is shelf stable for almost 2 years. And so why not save money knowing you're going to do a 3 to 6 month product trial? These special enrollment orders are only available on that first time that you open up your account. So take a moment with the person that invited you and get all your questions answered. With this slide, I'm just going to give you the concept that you can order anywhere from, let's say, 2 cases of any of the product line up to 8, 9, or 10 cases on that first order. And as you increase, as you can see from choice 1, which is about 1.5, 2 cases, choice 2 is 4 cases of any of the product line, and choice 3 is 8, 9, or 10 cases, what we call the entrepreneur pack, and your savings and your benefit just increases, right? So for example, with the entrepreneur pack option 3, you don't pay the $40 enrollment fee. That's waived for you. So you save money there. You, with each of the first time orders on the associate account only, you do get sample tubes of the topical gel. I actually have some right here. You can't really see it with my video, but okay, they're about the size of a travel size toothpaste. And you also get free product points already gifted to you and a higher earning on future points. Okay. I'm running at the end of the hour here, so I'm going to end with a quote from Virtus. He says, "We are all at the start of something big with great purpose. And right now is the moment that we begin influencing the future. We can change the world." So I share that quote with you so you can really see that we're not just about getting products into people's hands. We're about changing lives with this technology and helping you have a different conversation with yourself, with your healthcare practitioner, with how you approach aging and endurance and life on a physical level. And so definitely get your questions answered as we wrap up the webinar tonight. And we encourage you, don't wait. If you're ready to get started, go do that. And thank you for joining us. And now we're turning it over to our phenomenal business partner and top field educator, Cindy Buck, because literally in 1 minute, we're going to jump into team training that we do every week for the next 30 minutes. So if you're a guest, you can stay with us and see how we do our personal development and help each other grow our business.